This is a Headgum original.
Are you guys hearing that?
Yeah.
What's that? What's that?
Every week, it just feels like we're so back. Anyone else on that high What was that, Amir?
Sorry, I'm listening to a different podcast. What'd you say?
What the fuck? What show?
The Hoop Collective with Brian Windhorst.
No way you're listening to Windy.
Yeah, Bontemps had a funny zinger.
That's funny.
What were you
What did he
saying,
say?
Amber? What?
Zinger.
Zinger.
That's funny.
Yeah, zinger.
No, I was saying every week there's a certain energy where it just feels like we're so back. You know what I mean? Where it feels like we came back from a hiatus that was unwelcome to the audience, and for us to be back comes with it a certain joy. Does that make sense?
We were on a hiatus?
I'm just saying every week it feels like we went on a hiatus that was unwelcome to the audience, and then when we come back, what comes with us is a certain joy. Does that make sense? Yeah.
No.
Basically, yeah. We're all kind of crooks in a way.
No.
Speaking of... Bond of the week. Amir, who do you got?
JD Vance.
I was going to say Vance, so I'll say yours that you said before we started recording. Thomas Matthew Crooks.
I said that as a joke.
I said that as a Bond.
JD Vance, yeah, he's going to be the next vice president of America. He's younger than me, which is kind of interesting.
He's younger than you.
And he probably looks good in a suit.
Do you think he says "and" when he uses that conjunction, or do you think he says "Vans"?
Anya, who you got?
You guys took my two.
Thomas Matthew Crooks is already a pretty damn good shot. All right, he didn't hit him square, but he was from 400 feet away, I think. And I think Bond, really? Bond doesn't snipe.
150 yards.
He only has to protect.
Maybe he could be a...
Well, he's dead.
He's gone. Yeah, no, he's gone. But, you know, he didn't have a lot of prospects. He was 20 and he had nothing to show for it.
What
by the time I was
20?
By the time I was 20, we had, 80 Jeffrey the Dumbasses in the can?
Did you?
Can we get a numbers crunch on that, Casey?
Do your agents, show that?
They do, actually, yeah. And it's
to
worked.
Who? It's not really
offices.
It's not your current vibe anymore though.
How do you figure?
They'll see the Jeffrey the Dumbass and that's a clean cut teen.
Sure.
And then in comes you, who's more of the bi-commercial
Sydney Sweeney,
opposite
guru
type style.
I was gonna say though, because it was also Guru Sty that day, because I had a fucking growth on my eye in front of the Sydney.
On my bi,
and I also had a fucking dead toe.
Okay, all right, all right.
Oh,
I wish we could do the get it started thing.
Let's do it.
Get it started. Get it started. Get stupid. We do the R word version this time.
Vance has already changed
Vance, dude. JD. You know, there's I think 2024 will henceforth be known as 1BJD, and then 2025 will be 1AJD or JDE.
What's the E?
Era. So it's before JD, and then it's JD era. No matter what happens through history. What's that?
Do you think your listener base actually knows your politics, your actual politics?
I don't think a lot of them are far right.
Well, Geoff's from Ohio, so anything's in play.
Swing
and as
state.
is Vance.
Vance was in my little league. No, I don't know where in Ohio he's from. I mean, even Cleveland, where I'm from, has a lot of mixed to bad politics. But I'm pretty sure he's from like Southeast Ohio or something, just somewhere terrible. No offense to any listeners.
Do you think this is going to be a Rust Belt election?
I think this is just going to be bad no matter what happens.
I mean, Trump was going to have it no matter what.
It's so looking
over
like that.
Yeah.
We got to put some cash on this, Vance. Casey, who do you got for Bond of the fucking hour?
Bond of the hour, I'm going to give it to...
Me.
I'm going to give it to Anya.
He had nothing. I was helping him out.
Do you have anybody, or are you just going to point the finger?
Me?
Yeah.
I give it right back to Casey.
Because I'll also point my finger, which has just been pricked, at a bunch of pricks.
Why did you prick it?
What's that?
Why did you have to give blood?
Yeah.
Basically, I wanted to donate just a little bit.
Just a drop.
I want to be able to say I donated blood today without feeling woozy and without helping others. Does that make sense? So basically, I get all the sympathy of giving blood without any of the consequences or spiritual karmic leaps.
It would be funny for you to donate blood to the JD Vance election campaign.
That'd be, just mail in a fucking biohazard, but
or other stuff.
I guess I shouldn't say that, huh? I shouldn't say that on a recorded
medium. Talking about all this stuff into a microphone right now, I'm like, I don't know if I want to put my voice into this ring.
We all have alibis. We all have alibis, right?
Well, not on the day, but all days moving forward feels like a minefield. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
like
what?
You
It's
don't
going to
get
become a
caught up.
dictatorship?
Wait, hold on. There's like a knock. There's a knock at my door right now.
Oh my God.
1 second.
It's Vance.
And he wants an advance.
This is already, the energy is there. Casey's outfit is really
There.
searing thus into my mind's memory. I don't
I have
quite
something
have
for
photograph.
Casey. Go ahead. Sorry.
I also
Go
have
ahead.
a
I'm so
whole
sorry.
I have like a talking point for Casey during this wax segment, but let's talk. What do you have for Casey?
I have a talking point for you, but I would like to hear what Anya has
I
to
also
say.
had a talking point, but I'm curious what Anya has to think
Let's
about.
go Anya, Casey,
point.
me, and then if we get to it, Amir.
Okay, so
point.
Casey's talking point, actually, I would like to also support. And so I'm part of that talking point as well. But my separate talking point for just Casey.
Yeah, and
Casey,
I also wanted to
know-
support Casey's talking point.
I wouldn't even
So
mind
I guess I
swinging in on
support.
Casey's. I could co-sign that for sure.
Yeah.
Almost
I
Yeah,
just
you
want to know
better.
what it is.
You better, but we'll
So-
get to that. And
Okay,
next,
got it.
Anya.
Yeah, let's hear Anya's talking point.
I've been home for a week and now plus 1 day because I had the novel coronavirus. And Casey,
I actually had a talking
Really?
point about that. I hate to even
Yeah,
bring
I
this
was
up, but I had a
curious
talking point
about
about
that.
Anya's COVID-0.
I wonder how she got it. But yeah, Anya
I was
patient
gonna-
0.
Basically, it was instead of Anya 0, it's Anya patient 0 is what I was going to
Yeah.
say. But also,
Well,
I was
you
going to say
didn't.
that
You said Anya COVID.
you can't be
0.
patient
I was gonna
0
say
4
instead
years
of
in.
COVID, well, you're patient 0 for COVID-0, which is basically when Anya 0 has COVID-19.
Yeah.
So instead of 19,
Sucks.
it's 0. Yeah.
Everything would have fallen apart if it weren't for Casey, though. So
Wow,
it's Casey
so
0 this
Casey's
week.
picking up the slack.
And
That's
thank
really
On
you.
good.
Slack.
However, I
Wait,
do have
Zero
one
is a
thing.
good nickname?
Oh, this whole time. Yeah, I assume. Although people have been mean to me in the comments lately, so I don't know.
I think it's one of the coolest nicknames you could have. I mean, if
Thank
Trump
you.
was Donald 0, I think he
That
would
would be
have
so sick. He
been
would
the
have
first.
clinched it. Yeah. He wouldn't have
unanimous
lost
vote.
that last. Yeah. Like president for life. Casey, my one thing.
Yeah.
Those 3 books in the background
Mhm.
that are crooked,
Mhm.
we're going to have to straighten those.
Right
I would say
now?
that's not the only thing that's crooked in the Headgum office, though, I would say. Are you guys familiar with,
With what?
Is that a love it or leave it joke?
I was just going to say, are you guys familiar with Marty Michael?
You think he's crooked?
I think he's crooked, Mike.
He's close.
I do think it'd be
Thank
fun
you,
to come up with.
Casey. That looks so much better.
I have
But
a talking
also-
point.
I
You're
think we
welcome.
genuinely should all say thank you to Casey because he really held it down.
Great job, Casey.
Thank
Way
you.
to hold it
Thank
down.
you, Anya.
Thank
Anya,
you,
do you know
Casey.
how
Thank you,
you,
Amir.
do you know how
Thank
you
you,
got
Casey.
COVID?
Thank you, Geoff.
No.
Do you know how you got COVID?
No.
No one in your
What
life
about all those?
has
Yeah, you were going
I mean,
around
I was-
town. You were like,
I was in New York and then I was in Alaska. So I either got it in New York City or in Alaska.
yeah. It had to be.
Plan.
It had to be Juno.
Have you guys ever been there? Do we have fans in Juneau?
Why did you go to Alaska?
We should do a live show there. Because
I
I
should
was
do a rice
scouting for
parody to Alaska.
a location for a live show. Yeah.
I was burning through a big walk. Maggie Rogers.
No, not
Got
for
it.
us. We're all
Anchorage.
Too old. No, I was in Juneau.
You guys aren't that much older than me. I mean, Amir is. That's a different story. But I feel like Anya and Casey are still young.
Someone in the comment section said I'm pushing 40.
Are you like 33?
I'm 34.
They meant you were shoving
34
me.
is the same thing. What's that, Amir? You're over the hill, so like I don't even know.
Anya's closer to my age than yours.
True. And I'm pushing 40.
That's true. 8 years and 6 years, or no, 8 and 7.
And let's
You're pretty
not
much
forget,
splitting the difference. Casey, what are you? 40?
pushing
I'm 22.
Really? That's pretty
Yeah.
hung.
That's gas.
I do have a talk.
That's so crazy.
I have a
wonder if I have
talking
the
point. I
tinnitus
do have a
in-
talking point for you.
Yeah, let's hear about it, Casey. I'm really, and I wouldn't even mind piggybacking off of yours. Let me guarantor that.
Okay. I got some notes for you on the show, actually.
Let's hear
That's
it.
Yeah.
my talking point.
We've been talking about it all week.
Yeah, you have to do a better job editing the video. You have
I was
to.
gonna say.
You were going to say that?
I was gonna.
No.
Well, last week I didn't edit the video really at all.
Yeah.
But before that, I mean, what are you judging me on? Just last week or in general?
Last week.
Because just last week, yeah, that was fine. I could have done a
Last
better
week
job.
reminded us of in general, I would say.
I would say most of the time I do well. Marika had a sit down chit chat with a Geoff man like last fall, right? And I started editing the shit on a multicam spectrum. Last week I dropped the ball once, and now here we are live on air.
What did you
Anya
do
got-
last week? I didn't see the video.
Basically, it was tough because I was like I was over Zoom and everyone else was in New York,
Like
and
this?
there was.
Okay. Oh, and then you didn't do
Here's the
inserts
thing.
with people? It was
The
just
issue
a
with
wide
Geoff,
shot?
the issue with Geoff is that he wants the show to be good,
That's true. It is.
and he will have a streak of working. We'll have a little sit down, and then there will be improvement, and then one day out of nowhere, it's back to square one.
That's exactly right. The tough part of it
It
is that
starts slipping and slipping and slipping, and then it's
major
gone.
slippage, major shrinkage, I would say, even with
Yeah.
the heat. And
Yeah.
I'm in heat, which was part of the problem with the
But
editing.
you have
last
to
week.
bring the heat every week.
I agree. I think the problem is I don't wake up early enough. But
You
if I
go to
don't
sleep.
get enough,
What about,
if
why
I don't get
you
more
just
than
stay
8
up
hours,
later then?
I don't want to work past a certain time. You know, it's about work-life
And that
balance.
doesn't make it hard. That does make it hard.
That does make it hard.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Casey's passy.
What's that?
Well, yeah,
This
what
is a
is that?
talking point. Does anybody want to co-sign my talking
No,
point?
hold on. Okay. But we do have to circle back later, but keep going.
Okay. Casey's passy is a talking point, not quite a segment, where I thought we could kind of realize and bring to fruition our ideas around what pacifies Donna-Hugh. So, like, what makes Casey shut the fuck up, but with a smile?
An iPad with a baseball game on it.
No, that's like, Casey, he's not a baby.
I mean, that would pacify him and keep him occupied for an hour or two.
I didn't like the insinuation that he needs to sit with an eye. Like, he could have a fucking flat screen. It's just about the baseball part of what you said. It's
Okay.
not about screen time for children.
So
He's
this
an
is
adult.
just hobbies Casey has?
I didn't know that this was a thing where I needed to shut the fuck up.
Not on the show, in your personal life.
You barely talk.
That's true.
Thank you.
I think you're pretty quiet.
I'm
By
I'm not.
choice.
I'm also not saying that you need to talk less. I'm just asking the group. I'm polling the room /
You
Zoom.
literally said what would make Casey shut up.
Yeah. you
What
did say that.
pacifies Donna-Hugh is what I said.
Mm.
And Casey, you can start. Jesus Christ.
When you edit the video well,
yeah,
because that ends up on the Headgum channel, I think that pacifies Donna-Hugh.
that's
Yeah.
cool. It's tough because if I don't achieve perfection, I feel like I get like stared at the eyes, though. Does that make sense? Like, I get chastised on the Zoom, in the room, on the
Mhm.
day, online. Versus when I just do things correctly, nobody congratulates me, nobody says thank you, nobody says good job.
You're doing the
Oh,
bare
well, it's-
minimum that we pay you to do.
Yeah.
That's
it's-
true. Sometimes
it's
I go
so
above
rare.
and beyond, though. What about the bumper stickers to have?
Did you ever add this to the store?
I wasn't allowed. When I go above and beyond, Marika's like, that's not what we do
I'm
here.
getting a call.
So it's like, unless I do, it really just feels like if I don't do
you
things.
made the bumper stickers, but you're not really moving them. I'd say if you want to go above and beyond,
and
then
just
go
nobody trusts that I will.
outside the studio and sell them to passersby.
That's true. Would that pacify you, or
I think that would.
Passers by you.
all right, let's check in on Amir's woes.
Amir's on the phone right now.
Yeah, that's
Anya,
true.
Yeah.
Amir, it has been
Almost.
544 days of you being in your 40s. Are you?
Yeah, since the 40th
okay?
one. Yeah, a year and a half, almost exactly.
How are your woes?
What do you mean my woes?
Well, I don't mean like, in the Drake sense. I don't mean like you're running through, LA with your friends. I mean like, have you cried this week?
Have I cried? No.
Have you been sad at all in the past year?
When was the last time you cried?
That's a good question. Maybe my wedding?
I don't remember.
You shot it.
Did I get it on tape?
Clearly not. You missed the money shot.
We also should say that
really
when Amir's
low res VHS. So.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
That's funny.
Thank you.
When you say you shot it, we should say that he doesn't mean like on VHS, on film, on video. Casey was 150 feet away on a neighboring, outside the site of the wedding. And there were like some pop sounds that rang throughout Laurel Canyon. The entire Headgum staff kind of surrounded Amir like this. And he stood up on the altar and was like, let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes. Although it was a portmanteau, he like kind of married Donald with presciently with historic references such as Elvis, because you were wearing a light blue tuxedo with blue suede shoes.
What did you said it was almost a portmanteau because you married
history.
Donald with presciently?
Basically, you projected out into the future to July, what was it, 13th, I want to say, 14th?
Yeah.
To the past in the 50s when Amir, I almost said Amir, when Elvis had a certain type of loafer in a way. And you knew that the future would happen. You had one foot in the past because history does repeat itself. Married them in a huddle in case he had an AR-15 at the Houdini estate. Can we talk about my triumphs? I feel like we never do that. We've already talked about my fucking failures. I feel like I'm kind of nice.
So the failure is that you don't do a good job, and your triumph is that you're kind of nice.
I think that there's something to be said in Holly won't for being not an asshole.
Anya's still on the phone? Still on the phone? Got it.
Is that with my physician? And the reason why I have a Band-Aid on here? Pricks?
Yeah, the results are bad.
Really? Is it
Yeah.
glycogen, omega-3s? Is it the hypercholesterolemia?
They said nearing death.
Hypercholesterolemia.
My
Wait, what
lifeline is so short.
So short, so short.
Wait,
Yeah,
why
that's
did you have
what
to
they
prick?
said.
Why did you have to prick your middle finger?
So that I could point my middle finger at pricks for the joke.
It's really cool.
Wait, so you pricked your finger just for the joke?
I had a lot of bodily fluid samples taken nary an hour ago to right the wrongs of my short
List 'em.
lifeline.
List all of them.
Tears,
Every fluid.
cum,
Tears.
sweat, blood, urine.
Snot.
I didn't end up doing the loogie test, but that's just because the morning void urine strip and vial wasn't, not only was it vial, it was in a vial. And I was listening to Kurt Vile, and I didn't end up having to do the hawking a loogie test because I was buying a Hockney while wearing a vest.
Mucus? Mucus is short for mucopolysaccharide. It's both a lipid, a fat, and a protein.
A
So
lipid
your
is
body
a fat, so it's just a fat and a protein, but continue.
Never mind. You're
I'm
obviously
back.
No,
right.
come on.
Did
I wanna
I
hear.
miss Geoff say anything about?
Jeff was
shooting
saying what
again,
kind
or-
of. No, he was talking about what.
He's talking about all the
liquids he had to
different
send.
liquids that come out of him that he's sending.
Basically,
in the
I
mail to
secreted
people.
oil from my eyes into a vial while listening to Kurt.
Oh, did you ever do the fecal transplant thing I sent you?
Yeah, Amir was trying to thin me by having me swallow, I want to say shite.
Like make you lose weight?
He wanted me to be, you said that you wanted me to be known as 2D Vance because you wanted when I turned to the side, you wanted me to not be there. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Guys, I'm constantly comparing my life to others. Social media plays a huge role in that because I follow only rich and sick people. I don't mean ill in the medical sense. I mean that their lives look better than mine on paper and in person. But comparison is obviously the thief of joy, and we're all trying to be it instead. Because it's easy to envy other people's lives, but you don't know what their life is actually like. It might look like they have it all together on Instagram, but honestly, they probably don't. And therapy can help you focus on what you want instead of what others have, so you can start living your best life and own a Rolex still. I'm in therapy every week. I would highly recommend it to anyone who has access to it, and BetterHelp makes it easier. So start with BetterHelp. Give therapy a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/what's-that today to get 10% off your first month. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/what's-that. Thanks, BetterHelp. Welcome to...
Yeah. Money.
Wow.
Money,
what
money,
a needle drop.
Money.
Welcome to the Donna-Hugh. You guys ever watch this, The Apprentice?
I've seen it.
Okay, so
No.
this is
Explain the
this
concept.
is a segment called the Donna-Hugh. This is going to be improvised scenes as if Casey hosted his own Apprentice-style reality show. So The Apprentice was kind of Shark Tank before Shark Tank, EP'd by the
No,
same
not at
man.
all.
Really?
Yeah, it was like people trying to get a job for Donald Trump, and he would like make them go do challenges and stuff. I feel like
I
Shark
thought it
Tank
was
is
them
more
pitching
like
ideas.
entrepreneurs like pitching ideas
right.
for investment, and then they negotiate the deal. But
That's kind of more what the Donna-Hugh is, though. The second one.
is the Shark Tank one?
It's improvised scenes where there's going to be three. You're going to
So
play
why don't
the
you just
Don.
say it's a Shark Tank spinoff instead of bringing in the Apprentice?
Because then it wouldn't be the Don.
It's really a Whose Line Is It
Yeah, the
Anyway
Dawn,
spinoff.
that's-
It's
yeah.
like an improv.
It's really a
game.
good ass segment.
Yeah, I want to know more.
All right, so 3 scenes. All right, we're gonna go Amir, Anya, me. Casey, you're sitting perfectly. You're already in character as the Don. You will be.
No one calls him the Don.
Well,
That's
let's see how it goes, Anya.
Okay, sorry. I'll save my notes.
So one by one, we're gonna do a scene where
We're gonna what?
We're gonna come forth, is what I was gonna say.
Oh, I see.
Basically, arrive.
Right,
Kind of have.
you're right. That makes more sense.
Basically, one by one, we're gonna all experience a little death, and we're gonna. It's gonna be improvised scenes, 2 people at once. It's gonna start with Amir and Casey. Casey is the Don. Amir, you're gonna bring a product, service, or business idea to the Don, and
Okay.
the rest will be Listerine.
So it's Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Shut up, I think, and action.
Hey, Don. Nice
Amir,
to meet you.
welcome.
I have a business idea for you.
I'd love to hear it. I am the Don, after all.
Yeah. So basically, it's a website that combines real traffic data, which is like interesting because it's like it tells you how to drive places, with social media. So it's
like real traffic, as in like car traffic.
Exactly.
What's happening on the street?
If you're in traffic, let's say you're stuck on a highway and you want to chat with somebody near you because they
to another car also stuck.
Exactly right.
Oh.
So it's like MySpace meets Waze.
I like this. And like you could set your top 8 of other drivers around you.
Exactly.
This is really good.
And you can honk through the app and you can sort of talk and create a Zoom link that's like, hey, this is really nasty. Let's get off here and sort of have a coffee at a diner instead.
Amir, I love it. You're hired.
Okay, I have thoughts. Are we doing feedback or?
Are we still in the scene? Geoff, you let us know.
I have notes. How is what you just pitched different than just using Zoom, using Waze, and calling friends if they're nearby you on the freeway?
Talking because I'm talking. I understood it. I'm talking to the other cars stuck in traffic with me.
But you're gonna have a top 8. Isn't that gonna change every 10 minutes?
Me.
Yeah.
How long are you often stuck in traffic? You live so close to the office.
Well, don't dox me, but
it's
also
like bumper to bumper up.
Yeah, what if I got to go up the 405?
What if
he's
walking?
He didn't even have a name for the fucking thing.
I did.
What is it?
Oh, what is it?
The name for the website.
Mm-hmm.
You're buying time?
That I pitched him.
Yeah.
Buying time? Just say it. 3, 2, 1. What's the name? 3, 2, 1? 3, 2, 1.
MySpace.
MySpace.
No, MySpace.
Space with a Z.
MySpace. So MySpace and Waze.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is kind of like that.
That's so clever. I love it even more. You're hired.
No way. All right, here we go. Anya.
No, I have
more
things to say to Casey.
I also have notes on this, but Anya, you first.
I think it's cool that you were trying to yes and Amir and really support his idea
to do that.
But I know for a fact that you would hate this and that you do not like to be distracted while you're driving and that you take your driving very seriously.
Well, you drive manual.
You won't even text.
I do not look at my phone when I drive. And actually, if people look at their phone,
she hates your idea, Amir.
I think if you are texting while you're driving, you should get like the equivalent of a DUI. Is what I think the punishment.
That's not a bad idea, honestly.
I know it's a great idea.
Is that a ticket? Texting while driving?
Well, you should get points on your license for sure.
/ on the back end, I wouldn't even mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I once got pulled over on the 101 because I wasn't texting, but I was like trying to choose a song, and the guy saw that I was like on my phone or whatever, pulled me over, and I was like, sorry, and he's like, I pulled you over, right? And I was like, yeah, I was on my phone, sorry about that.
Never admit to the police why you think they pulled you over.
Well, usually I try to small myself. I basically debase myself.
He was trying to do an improv scene.
Because all they want when they pull you over is like they want to hit their quota, and they also want to like make you feel like shit so that they feel powerful. So I take it so far in that direction that they start to be like, all right, come on, have some self-respect, man.
What do you mean by debase yourself?
I step outside the vans
as quickly as possible.
I start to spin plates on my nose like a dolphin.
He's like constantly looking in his pockets.
I dance like a seal in front of a Navy SEAL until they're like, all right, get off the ground. You have rug burn on
you
your
do the
knees.
worm.
Yeah. But on my side, so I'm just cracking my birthing hips. All right. Anya.
Before
next.
Anya, I would like to can we repackage this segment?
Fine.
I know you pitched it as like an apprentice thing, but it doesn't really match.
Yeah.
And then, it's more of a
Shark Tank.
A Shark Tank thing, but you want to call me the Don. So this really honestly feels more like a Godfather situation.
That's what I said.
Feels
I didn't hear Anya say that, but she's right.
I come to you on my daughter's birthday.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right,
exactly.
That's good. All right,
that's how we should start.
This next scene's gonna be Donna Zero entering.
Yeah. So can you cue up the Godfather music, please?
Dons?
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, not really.
That sucks. I have to, as a rival Don, I now have to come in and pitch to the other Don.
Wait, she's a Don also?
Action.
All right. So
Still
I know
pitch
this is
it, business
crazy
idea, though.
because you're a Don and I'm a Don, and technically I shouldn't have to come to you to get something done.
Well, the 5 families do have to meet after all.
Okay, that's true. That's true. We're doing an alliance.
Yeah.
So my pitch is a show. It's a podcast that's part of the Headgum network, and it's kind of like the like native branded show for the network itself. So it's like hosted by someone that like works a lot with Headgum,
Sure.
and then like employees come on all the time, and it's kind of like a little bit of peek behind the curtain, a little like chance to do something kind of creative and kind of build a brand for Headgum and allow people to see what it's like to work here and have some fun. But here's the thing that I think will set it apart. I think it's going to be edited well. I think that it'll be uploaded like on time every week.
Incredible.
It won't ever there will be no like uploading it and then taking it down because there was an issue and then having to re-upload it later. So that because otherwise I feel like people in the comments will be like, where did the episode go? What was the issue?
Yeah.
And then that's kind of what they're going to talk about in there. And then maybe like there's live shows that you could do.
Ooh.
You could go on tour. You could like actually have like a really profitable and like
Well,
a
if we
really
go on
good
tour, I would
podcast.
think the person that hosts this show would have to be pretty reliable, you know?
Yeah, definitely like a show up on time, punctual,
Yeah.
remember to press record kind of a person. So that's my pitch. That's a show that we could do.
You
as part
come
of
to
this
me on the day of Amir's wedding and pitch
6
to
months
me
later.
an incredible show. You're
Yeah.
hired.
That's awesome. I'm glad we could work together on this across our like
Yes.
family divides and
Yes,
stuff.
and you can take
Wait, can we cut?
the Bronx
Can we
and
cut?
I'll
'Cause
take
this is-
Brooklyn.
This isn't working for me at all.
Okay. What's not working for you?
I mean, these are such small things, obviously, but like Anya was like chuckling through that. She was like stuttering almost. I feel like Adon would never.
I thought she spoke clearly and
there were a
with
couple
strength.
times.
But also like I'm kind of deferring to Kate. Like I want the Donna-Hugh to know that like I respect him and his like power, and like I don't want to like make him feel like I don't want to intimidate him.
That's what I do when cops pull
Also,
me
I don't
over.
think I stuttered.
I didn't
Yeah,
think
you
she
kind of
stuttered.
sputtered at least. There was definitely like it's like when you like floor it on the
I
freeway.
think you
while
have
you're
a
texting
bad
and driving.
connection, Geoff.
That's true.
But
That's
like
true.
that's not really has nothing to do with my idea.
All right. Well, I'll give it a 5 out of 9.
5 out of 9.
Yeah, pretty good.
What a bizarre scale.
What are you talking about? My improv abilities or my idea?
Yeah, I think that's
The
like the
idea.
overarching note. Like, is this an improv game or kind of like,
Yeah.
This show thrives in chaotic environments. All right. This lineup is good. I think this segment is turning out pretty Dawn. And I think that it doesn't matter as long as it's fucking funny, right? People enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I mentioned this 2 weeks ago. All right. I know I'm not always the most organized guy. I know I can be late sometimes. I am working on it. I'm always working on that. I feel like there's something wrong with my brain since I hit it in December, which has made it all worse.
Don't bring that. That's so unfair.
Yeah, now
It's
we feel
true.
So now
bad.
what are we gonna say? What are we gonna say now?
But that's
now that you brought
true.
up your head injury.
That
Yeah.
is
Like, what are we
true.
supposed to say? But okay, have you? It's not like it's
It got
taken a turn for
worse.
the worse. I don't
It got
think so.
worse.
I think it's exactly.
I think it's
the same.
gotten better. I think a lot of things have gotten better. I think a lot of things have gotten better, but that's in spite of the fucking TBIs. TBH.
You should continue to hit your head. I think then, which you have.
Here's the deal: 7 times, yeah.
You kind of can't. It's like a canker sore. Like you can't stop biting it.
Yeah,
you hit your
it's
head
like
7 times
Yeah.
this year.
yeah, because
He's like addicted to
Was
it.
any of them you stepping on a rake and it coming up and hitting you in the face?
yeah, it was a lot of like stepping on rakes. It was a lot of like slipping on banana peels. It was a,
Do you think your head got bigger so it's like you don't understand its placement in space?
I think that
Like, are you swollen? Do you have a swollen head?
the part of my brain that affects where I know I am in space is fucked up. That's why I hit my head 7 times. And it isn't funny, but that's
I know. It sucks that you have to bring this up now.
This all
and be
being
serious.
said.
But
Suddenly
you
we're
still
being
have to edit the
serious.
show better.
hitting my head
video.
1 million times. All right, here we go. Don Father. I guess we did the Apprentice, which was kind of Shark Tank. We did the Godfather, which was kind of a wash in a way. What should we do that's related to Don for our scene, Casey? Because there's the Godfather Don. There's the Don as in Donald Trump.
Mhm.
What other Dons are there? Donning clothes?
Red Dawn, Dawn of the Dead.
Can only do a movie reference.
That's not bad.
Okay, well, help me out
Kind of
here.
in his lane. No, I think those were good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think Geoff knows either of those.
What about
movies.
Don Wells?
What about Dawn, the 1978 film with the same title as Dawn?
What about Dawn soap?
Okay.
This is good.
Now,
This is good.
Geoff, tell me how you're going to edit this into the show.
Yeah, let's work on that now.
Yeah, will you show this YouTube video?
No, okay. No, what we're going to do is, I got it. I figured this out. We stumbled across the finish line, but we made it there. We're going to lip dub this
That's
scene.
us three. Yeah.
All of us are going to lip dub this scene.
You tried this with Emma Foley and it didn't work.
That was because Emma fucked it up. Now we have the fucking supporting cast that can affect this shit.
Wow.
I'll be in white because, or no, actually, Anya be white because you're wearing kind of white. I'll be in the middle because the guy has longest hair, and then the guy on the right can be Amir because he's dressed like shit. And then the guy approaching can be the Don, aka Casey. Here we go. Action.
He does not dress like shit.
Hey, everybody. I hear you have something to tell me.
I don't want to open your mouth. That would pacify you.
Keep going. I like what I'm hearing. You want to know what I have in this bag?
Get him, you little bitch. You little bitch.
You know, there's a lot of white people like you that I don't respect. But I gotta say, the way you've approached me with a briefcase in your hand and something lubing your glands.
Keep going.
Just stop right there.
Oh, I'm
I want
sorry.
to add something.
But you better be specific.
I don't appreciate when you're not pacified because I want you to relax, Casey.
Don't I look relaxed to you?
Not at all.
Don't you want to see what's in the briefcase?
Your arms are at 90 and 180 degree angles, respectively.
Well, take a look.
Oh my God. No, that's so bad. Oh, that's just the opening scene, though. So luckily there's a lot more movie to come.
Well, that was really bad.
I thought that was really good, actually.
You just like movies.
Yeah. And I felt like I was in one for a moment.
Wonderful.
That's so good.
Okay,
now let's watch it with the real audio.
No, it's all
That'll
right.
be fun.
You're
You're supposed to yes and me.
I don't think that was an English language film, so.
Yeah. Well, what makes you say that?
Yeah, Casey, keep going.
When it went to the production company title cards, I mean, I couldn't
Did you
hear
like the
anything.
shot at the
so I
beginning
couldn't-
where you could see the person in the rear view or in the?
I
side
think you let Casey.
mirror?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure your favorite shot was when the three brown guys got a bomb exploded in front of them.
That was that scene we watched. That wasn't my favorite shot. No.
Okay. That was the Dom. Hugh.
We should play it again next week.
Yeah, it worked well. What was your idea?
The idea was the Don, a Hugh. Improvise scenes as if Casey hosted The Apprentice.
Wait, so your
No,
scene
sorry,
was
what
just
was
going to
your
be pitching
scene?
that
Yeah.
to me?
Oh, my idea, I was going to improvise. I, fully improvise. I don't usually tend to pre-write stuff because I'm not
Which is
a
why
fraud.
they often fall apart.
No, I think I was going to do something. It would have been a portmanteau. Like, it could have been,
Yeah,
fucking-
second time you brought up a portmanteau this episode. The first time barely made sense.
I did. The first time it didn't make
Here
sense.
we
This time
go.
it did.
Here we
I got
go.
an email
Here we
from
go.
Florida Mall, which is a lingerie store, and so it could be like Florida Doll, and it was like, ever wanted to get your garter
It's not a
belts at the same
portmanteau.
time you get lentils?
That-
Look no further than
Not a-
Florida Doll.
I would have fired you.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Basically, you could get stockings and chicken stock to make the doll to have. Curry and a flurry of bras and panties.
All right, now
Fucking-
I'm coming around.
It's just, why not get
Curry
a
and
bunch
a
of
flurry of bras and panties.
get a bunch of fiber and get a fucking teddy from Florida Doll. And did I mention it's co-sponsored by Rolled
No, you didn't.
Doll?
Yeah.
I heard he was a famous anti-Semite.
Really?
I feel like, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Casey, I feel like our idea of bringing up Geoff's editing style on the podcast has backfired because he was able to just make it into a joke, and now he'll never let us address it with him for real.
No, I was dead serious, and if you don't do a better job, we'll find someone else to do it. So,
Okay. I just do a good job usually.
But what about the weeks where you can't? Why don't you raise your hand and say, I'm going to mess it up this week. I need help.
Do you know ahead of time if you're going to mess it up, or is it a sort of a too little, too late?
I usually know by Tuesday, yeah. So it's like too little Tuesday. Basically, what I need to do is I need to create a template file that I can give to Grace or a different video editor that's like, hey, everything's done. I just can't edit the multicam because I don't have time.
That was exactly going to be my suggestion.
Yeah.
So why don't we start doing that now?
Well, I don't want to do that on a weekly basis. I want to
Why not?
do it if there's a week I can't do it. Ends
but
right there.
That's why it's a
whole episode.
That's why it's a
We didn't
template.
talk about Geoff's triumphs. This is the perfect segue. We've talked about my fucking failures. Nobody's spoken to my merits, right? Let's talk about how, in spite of my fucking TBI, I still Are we boring you, Amir?
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? This is a fucking hit.
No way. This has been a bad episode.
Yahweh, right?
Half of it was saying that you should
Anti-Semite.
edit better, and half
Okay.
of it was a game you cobbled together from 3 sort of 10th bank.
We also
Ideas.
talked about the fluids that I secreted into vials. We also talked about Casey's
I took a phone
passy.
call. That was huge.
Yeah.
And what
Anya-
about the
Anya
fucking...
left.
I flipped you guys off and made a pun.
Yeah.
You practiced that earlier and you said it better off
Actually,
camera.
2D Vance was pretty good.
I wasn't going to say anything, but 2D Vance was a fucking...
2D
10
Vance
out
was
of
your best
10,
joke in a
yeah.
while.
2D
I
Vance
just...
is
I
just-
think...
You should, the episode should just be that.
This isn't a
2D Vance.
sketch. This isn't a sketch. This is a 45-minute episode. It's okay if there's lulls of 5 to 8 minutes at a time. Then it can be the fucking 3-minute clippable social shit. How's that any different than segments?
I'm curious how the listeners of the show will respond to us dubbing a movie scene.
Yeah, especially if you're just listening.
For the second time.
Yeah.
An idea
Okay,
that
the movie scene
apparently
part
work
didn't
the
go
first
great,
time.
but Anya's scene was all right, and Amir's was really good.
MySpace.
MySpace.
MySpace. Yeah.
I thought
I
this
think
was a great
listeners
episode.
deserve better.
I think this was a
fire
plug.
episode.
I think this was I think this was a hit. I think there were some really choice jokes. Was it a fucking classic? Remains to be seen. But was it a good enough episode to pacify not only Casey but the audience? Yeah. And I think
Even though they've been really mean to me in the comments. They're ripping me apart out there.
Really? Still?
Don't be mean to Anya in the
Yeah.
comments.
What,
You can say what you want.
what are they saying? Is it really mean?
I'm
or
not
is it
going to
like
stop
fake
coming on the
mean?
show. What's that?
Is it like real mean, or is it like they said something?
No, it's actually, they were really mean last week. People came to my defense, but it was cool. Those listeners, they're
The hell?
pretty cool.
no way.
I have to read the comments as a producer on the show.
No, you
And then-
don't.
No, you don't.
I kind of do. Because that's when that's how I kind of understand like what we need to improve. For example, the editing.
My greatest allies are in the comments. The other week I did say that I was like, yeah, not every week has a great outline. I get that. But sometimes I do bring good shit to the table and everybody shoots it down in the room on the Zoom. And listeners agreed with me.
Hmm. I wonder.
Yeah. We can all agree to disagree on what you bring to the table.
Really?
That was a Headgum original.